Hello crafty friends and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to create a very clean and simple card dedicated to our amazing teachers, those who work so hard to shape our future. Their support, guidance and their wisdom they have shared have played such a big role in who we are today. For today's card project, I'm keeping the design minimal and elegant, perfect for mass producing in a range of different colors. I'll be working with a monochromatic theme using different shades of reds to create a one layer card that is both striking and easy to replicate. Before we get started, I would really appreciate if you could take a minute to subscribe to my channel and hit on the bell icon so that you get notified every time I post a new video. Let's start by taking a look at the stamp set that we will be using today. Now, this is the Appreciate You stamp set by Simon's Stamp. It features several charming images. We have a light bulb with a star-shaped filament, an apple, and a post-it note. That would work beautifully as focal point for your cards. It also includes smaller elements like stars and a paperclip, perfect for adding little embellishments on your card front. Now, this set is perfect for creating heartfelt thank you cards, whether you're showing your appreciation to your teachers, mentors, or to anyone who's made a difference in your life. Some of the sub sentiments include: we appreciate you, you're a star, you make a difference, teacher, thank you for a great year, for all you do, for caring, you shine a bright light on education. As I mentioned in the introduction, I'll be creating a monochromatic card design, and for this project, I have chosen to work with various shades of red. Now, I decided to go with a one layer card featuring the apple image as my focal point. For the background, I'll be using all of those beautiful sentiments from the stamp set, stamped in bright cherry ink from the Simon's Stamp Positively Saturated Ink collection. I began by stamping the focal point image, which is the big apple, using Memento black ink since I will be coloring it with my Ohuhu alcohol markers. I made sure to leave enough space above and below this focal point apple to add a sentiment later on. Now, once the focal point was in place, it was time to stamp the background using all of those sentiments. Rather than stamping them individually, I created a custom background stamp by arranging all the sentiments around the focal point image. To ensure everything was in straight line and well aligned, I used my Simon's Stamp grid transparency sheet. You'll notice that some of the sentiments are positioned horizontally while others are vertical. This mix adds a beautiful visual interest to our background. Once I was happy with the layout, I simply closed the door of my stamping tool, and just like that, I had a custom background stamp filled with beautiful thank you and appreciation messages. Since this was my first time using the stamp set, I made sure to condition the stamps before inking them. You can do this by gently rubbing them with your fingers like I did, or by cleaning them using a stamp cleaner. This single step helps ensure you get a smooth and even impression when you stamp. For the background, I used cherry ink, the brightest red in my collection, and stamped the full panel about 3 times to get a rich, bold, and crisp result. If you're doing multiple stampings like this, you should make sure that the paper stays in the exact same position to avoid any smudging. To fill in the empty spaces between the sentiments, I added some of the small stars and stamped them, but unlike the sentiments, which I stamped several times for a sharper look, the stars were only stamped once. This gave them a more subtle and textured effect when you look closely. Once I was happy with all the stars and the positionings, I decided to add the paperclip stamp to fill in the few of the remaining gaps. For the paperclip, I used VersaFine Onyx Black ink instead of the red. The black, I feel, really stands out and adds a nice contrast against the vibrant red background. I'm also considering trying this design in green with all of those sentiments stamped in a lovely green shade and a fun green apple as the focal point. Well, I think a rainbow background could be really playful too. What color would you choose for the background? Let me know in the comment section below. Here's a closer look at the panel. I just love the simplicity of this design and how each sentiment beautifully expresses gratitude. Well, now it's time to add some color to our focal point. I'm using my Ohuhu brush tip alcohol markers, which is especially helpful for coloring larger images like this apple. I blended three different shades of red to create depth and dimension. For my leaves, I mixed greens from my Ohuhu collection with few shades from the Spectrum Noir Tri-Blend markers. And for the stem, I used a touch of brown to complete the look. With all the coloring complete, the card is nearly finished. But for me, no project is complete without a touch of sparkle. Now, for adding shine and sparkle, I always like using my Spectrum Noir glitter brush pen to add a little bit of shimmer just on the stars here. Just a hint of sparkle can really make a big impact. And just like that, with a bold focal point and a background filled with heartfelt sentiments, our card is complete. I love how simple and fun this design was to put together. It's also a great technique to get more use out of your stamp set by turning all those sentiments into a custom background. A little stars and the paper clips add just the right touch of visual interest to finish off this design. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching today's video as much as I did creating this card project and that it sparked a little inspiration for your next project. All the supplies that I used for today's video will be linked down in the description box below. Please note that all of these links are affiliate links, which means that if you shop using one of my links, I get a small commission at no cost to you guys. Thank you again for joining me today. Until next time, stay safe.